It's just after midnight in Hong Kong. The city is quiet, too clean, too empty, too still. A teenage boy stands alone in the hallway of a building. He's thin, barely 18, carrying a small backpack that looks far too light for someone who's about to erase his entire life. In front of him is a door made of frosted glass. No flag, no obvious markings, just a small brass plaque beside it. This door is the South Korean consulate, and right now, it might as well be the edge of the world. If the people behind this door let him in, he lives. If they don't, he will be dead by morning. This is not an exaggeration. This is the true story of the math genius who escaped North Korea. 24 hours ago, this same boy was standing on a brightly lit stage, smiling for cameras. A silver medal hung from his neck. He had just represented North Korea at the International Mathematical Olympiad, one of the most elite academic competitions on Earth. He was a success story. Now, he's a liability. And North Korea does not allow liabilities to walk away. In the lobby, he tries to knock on the door but hesitates for a second, because once he knocks, there is no version of the future where he goes back home. He has just erased his entire life story. He doesn't have a passport. He doesn't have identification. He doesn't even have proof that this door will open. All he has is the knowledge that if he waits too long, someone else will find him first. He knocks. A moment passes, then another. The silence stretches long enough for fear to crawl up his spine. Finally, footsteps approach from the other side. The door cracks open. A security guard looks down at him, confused. Just a kid in a backpack, standing there at an impossible hour. The boy swallows. "I'm from North Korea," he says quietly in Korean. "I want to defect." For half a second, no one moves. That single sentence has just triggered an international crisis. To understand how an 18-year-old ended up here, alone, undocumented, hunted, you have to understand how North Korea treats talent. Because Ri Jong-Yol was never just a student, he was an investment and possibly a threat. Ri Jong-Yol was born in 1998 in a country where freedom is just a word. In North Korea, every classroom, every office, every home has the same faces staring down from the wall. A portrait of Kim Jong-un, the ruler of North Korea. Jong-Yol's childhood looks ordinary on the surface. School, homework, the normal routine every kid goes through. But by age 7, something becomes obvious. While other children are learning basic arithmetic, Jong-Yol finishes the entire elementary math curriculum. Not with excitement, not with celebration, with precision. His teachers notice immediately. And in North Korea, when teachers notice something exceptional, they don't praise it, they report it. Talent in North Korea isn't something you develop for yourself. It's something the state evaluates for usefulness. Jong-Yol is moved into advanced classes, then special programs, then elite institutions. Each step looks like an opportunity, but each step is actually narrowing his future. The school he's eventually admitted to in Pyongyang is reserved for gifted students. On paper, it's prestigious. In reality, it's a sorting facility. Students are watched constantly. Conversations are monitored. Loyalty is assessed as carefully as intelligence. You don't just learn math there. You learn silence. You learn how to hide curiosity, how to avoid questions that don't have approved answers, how to solve problems without wondering why they matter. By his early teens, Jong-Yol understands the unspoken rule: the better you are, the less your life belongs to you. Then comes the invitation that changes everything: the International Mathematical Olympiad. For most students around the world, it's a competition. For North Korea, it's a display case. The country sends only its best, not just to win medals, but to prove something. Jong-Yol travels abroad for the first time, and something unexpected happens. The math is difficult, but manageable. What overwhelms him is everything else. Students from other countries talk freely. They joke with their teachers, they walk outside without permission, they use phones, they search the internet. No one checks who they talk to. No one listens to their conversations. No one tells them what not to think. It's subtle, but devastating. Because once you see a choice, you can't unsee it. Jong-Yol wins silver. He returns home. The applause is brief. The medal is photographed. The propaganda is collected. Then life snaps back into place. Over the next few years, the pattern repeats. International trips, silver medals, controlled returns. But something else starts changing too. After his third Olympiad, Jong-Yol notices officials asking questions, not about his performance, but about him. Who does he talk to? What does he think about? How does he behave abroad? Friends are questioned, teachers are summoned, family members are watched more closely. This isn't praise, this is interest. And in North Korea, state interest is never optional. Jong-Yol doesn't need anyone to explain what's happening. He already knows. In North Korea, children with exceptional talent are exploited and used as weapons against the rest of the world. North Korea doesn't waste intelligence. Its most gifted minds are funneled into two places: weapons development and cyber warfare. One calculates missiles, the other steals money. Both are underground. Both are permanent. Both are monitored. Once assigned, there is no leaving, no retirement, no family life, no daylight without supervision. You don't defect from these units. You disappear inside them. At 17, Jong-Yol can see the outline of his future clearly. A room without windows, a terminal without internet, problems that exist only to harm people he'll never meet. He understands something terrifying. His life will not be his. He will just be another piece in a game of never-ending chess. The irony is brutal. The more he proves himself internationally, the tighter the regime grips him. By 2016, he knows the decision is already made. This upcoming Olympiad in Hong Kong will be his last trip abroad. After that, he won't be sent out again. The door will close. And once it does, it will never open. Hong Kong is different. Still China, still dangerous, still capable of sending him back. But it's crowded, complex, chaotic. Unlike Pyongyang, you can disappear into it. And somewhere inside the city is something North Korea cannot control: the South Korean consulate. Jong-Yol starts planning, quietly, internally, carefully. He can't write anything down. He can't ask questions. He can't hint at doubt. Every move has to look normal. Before leaving, he breaks the most dangerous rule of all. He tells his father. His father is a math teacher, the man who taught him to love numbers in the first place. The conversation is short, heavy, honest. They both know what this means. Defection doesn't punish just the defector. It punishes 3 generations. Still, his father does something extraordinary. He helps him. He presses foreign currency into his son's hand, about $200. It's not much, but it's everything. They don't talk about seeing each other again. They don't need to. The day comes, July 16th, in Hong Kong, China. The Olympiad unfolds like all the others. Exams, ceremonies, photos. Jong-Yol performs flawlessly. Another silver medal. Another smile. North Korean supervision is strict but human. The coaches are intimidating, not trained security. They rely on fear and routine. And routines create gaps. The return flight is scheduled for the next afternoon. That night, exhaustion lowers the defense in the hotel. At around 2 a.m., Jong-Yol is fully dressed, shoes on, backpack ready. He is eagerly waiting for the right time to make his move. When the dorm goes silent, he moves. He slips out of the room and runs down the hallway. For the first time in his life, no one is watching him. He flags down a taxi. "Airport," he says. And as the car pulls away, the campus shrinking behind him, Jong-Yol understands something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. There is no turning back, and no one knows he's gone. At least, not yet. The taxi cuts through Hong Kong's empty streets like it's just another late-night ride. Streetlights flash across the window. To the driver, this is just a normal day of work. To the boy in the back seat, it's the most dangerous taxi ride in his life. Jong-Yol sits stiffly, hands clenched in his lap, backpack pressed against his chest. Every red light feels too long. Every passing car feels like it might be following him. He keeps glancing at the rearview mirror. Nothing. But that means nothing. Right now, no one knows he's missing. His absence hasn't been discovered yet. That's his only advantage, and it's temporary. At some point soon, a North Korean coach will wake up, count heads, and realize one of them is gone. When that happens, the clock starts and the chase has just begun. The driver pulls up to Hong Kong International Airport just before 4 a.m. Jong-Yol steps out of the taxi and freezes for half a second. The airport is massive. Bright lights, endless corridors, screens listing destinations he's never been allowed to imagine. London, Tokyo, Los Angeles, Sydney. For the first time in his life, the world feels wide instead of sealed, but wonder is dangerous. He forces himself to move. Inside this building, there are cameras everywhere, security everywhere, police everywhere, and somewhere in this crowd, there might already be people who shouldn't see him. He has one plan: find a South Korean. That's it. No backup. No second option. If he can't do that, everything ends here. He walks slowly, pretending to be just another tired student. His clothes are plain, his backpack is small. He doesn't look like a threat. That's good. He scans the check-in counters, then he sees it. The Korean Air logo. His heart starts pounding so hard he feels dizzy. This is it. He approaches the counter, hands trembling just slightly. A staff supervisor looks up, clearly confused. It's early. He has no luggage, no passport. Jong-Yol leans in and speaks quietly in Korean. I need to go to South Korea. The woman hesitates. Before she can ask anything else, he adds the sentence that changes everything. I'm from North Korea. Her expression shifts instantly. Shock, disbelief, fear. She looks around, lowers her voice, and asks him to repeat himself. He does. Within minutes, another staff member is called, then another. They move him slightly aside, away from the main flow of passengers. He explains everything. The math competition, the escape, the fear that someone might already be looking for him. This is not something airline employees are trained for, but they know one thing: this is serious. The supervisor picks up the phone and calls the only people who can handle this, the South Korean consulate. At first, they're skeptical. Defection claims happen, mistakes happen, traps happen, but the details line up. There is a North Korean math team in Hong Kong, and one of its members is suddenly unaccounted for. This is real, and it's explosive. A North Korean defection on Chinese soil is a diplomatic nightmare. China considers most North Korean defectors illegal migrants and routinely sends them back. If Jong-Yol is caught by Chinese or Hong Kong authorities before reaching South Korean protection, he's finished. The diplomats make a decision. They can't send anyone to get him. That would look like an extraction. That would provoke China. That could get everyone arrested. He has to come alone. They give instructions over the phone. They tell him where the consulate is. They tell him how to get there. And then they say something terrifying. If you're caught before you arrive, we can't help you. The line goes dead. The airline supervisor writes down an address and presses it into his hand. Far East Finance Center, Central Hong Kong. Jong-Yol thanks her. He doesn't know her name, but she just saved his life. He walks back outside and hails another taxi. This ride feels longer. Now there is a chance he's being searched for. By now, his handlers may have discovered he's missing. Phones ringing, panic spreading, calls being made. He imagines North Korean officials demanding help from airport security, from Chinese authorities, from anyone who will listen. He knows the rules. If China gets him, they will send him back. And going back doesn't mean punishment, it means disappearance. He would be executed. Finally, the car stops in front of a tall glass building. Office workers are starting to arrive. The city looks normal, alive, too normal. He pays the driver and steps out, staring up at the building. Inside the lobby, there's no flag, no obvious sign, just a directory. He scans it. 5th floor, Consulate General of the Republic of Korea. His legs feel weak. He walks to the elevators, half expecting someone to grab him from behind. No one does. The elevator doors close. They open again on the 5th floor. 2 security guards stand near frosted glass doors. This is the moment. If they turn him away, he has nowhere else to go. He steps forward and speaks quickly, urgently. I'm a North Korean student. I need asylum. The guards stare at him. Then one of them gestures to him inside. The doors close behind him. Inside, everything changes. South Korean officials appear, disbelief written all over their faces. They ask him questions, gently, carefully. Did he come alone? Is he injured? Is anyone following him? He answers as best he can. Then the weight of it all hits him. His voice cracks. I defected, he says. I can't go back. They give him water. He drinks it like he hasn't had any in years. By diplomatic law, he is now on South Korean territory. North Korea cannot touch him here. For the first time since leaving the dorm, he allows himself to breathe. But the danger isn't over, not even close. Within hours, the situation reaches the highest levels of Hong Kong's government. A North Korean national has declared asylum on Chinese soil. This is a problem no one wants to deal with. Hong Kong police don't storm the consulate. That would violate international law, but they quietly station officers around the building. No one goes in without permission. No one leaves without scrutiny. The consulate enters lockdown. Jong-Yol is moved to a small, windowless room. Bare walls, a bed, a desk. He is safe and trapped. He cannot step outside. If he does, Hong Kong authorities can detain him. If that happens, China decides his fate. Days turn into weeks. The world outside moves on. Inside, Jong-Yol waits. Negotiations happen far above his head. South Korea pushes quietly but firmly. North Korea demands his return, likely claiming kidnapping or coercion. China weighs the cost. Historically, China sides with Pyongyang. But 2016 is different. North Korea's missile tests have embarrassed Beijing. Relations are strained. Returning a high-profile teenage prodigy to force cyber warfare would look bad, very bad. Still, nothing is guaranteed. For Jong-Yol, life becomes a strange routine. He jogs on a treadmill brought into the room so he won't lose his mind. He plays offline computer games. He eats meals delivered by consulate staff. He doesn't ask about his family. He already knows the answer would hurt too much. At night, he lies awake, staring at the ceiling. Did his father get arrested? Did his family disappear? Did his escape destroy the people he loved? Freedom, he's learning, comes with guilt, and there's nothing he can do about it. Weeks pass, then months. Media whispers start, but no official reports. Everyone wants this to stay quiet. Finally, near the end of September, the news comes. China will allow him to leave, not publicly, not ceremoniously, quietly. Relief floods the consulate. Paperwork begins immediately. He arrived with nothing, no passport, no ID. South Korea issues him new documents under a different name, Ri Jong-Yol, a name that can exist safely. Hong Kong immigration grants him a temporary visa, treating him as a South Korean traveler. Everything is arranged. One final step remains. He has to get to the airport and get on the plane. Until the wheels lift off the ground, nothing is guaranteed. The car leaves the consulate just after dawn. No markings, no flags, no sirens. From the outside, it looks like any other vehicle merging into Hong Kong traffic. Inside the back seat sits Ri Jong-Yol, or rather, the person he is about to stop being. He holds a brand new passport in his hands. The cover feels strange, too clean, too official. Inside it is a name that is not his, Ri Jong-Yol. This name is his armor. This name is his survival. Crowds move freely along sidewalks. People laugh, scroll through phones, live ordinary lives. For them, this is just another evening. For him, this is the last night his old country can reach him. The irony isn't lost on him. 2 months ago, he came to this same city as a North Korean representative, escorted, monitored, controlled. Now he's leaving it as something far more dangerous to the regime, a reminder to the people of North Korea that escape is possible. At the airport, everything feels unreal. Not chaotic, not dramatic, just procedural. Chinese plainclothes officers linger at a distance, not threatening, not friendly. Their presence is a quiet signal. You're allowed to go, but don't make this difficult. Jong-Ho's legs feel heavy as he approaches immigration. He keeps his face neutral, eyes forward, hands steady. This is the final checkpoint. If the officer notices anything, hesitation, accent, inconsistency, everything collapses. The passport is opened. A stamp comes down. Another. The officer slides it back and allows him through. That's it. No questions, no alarms, no second glance. He walks away before his body remembers how to react. Only when he reaches the gate does the tension finally break. He sits down, and for the first time in 70 days, his hands stop shaking. The plane takes off quietly. No celebration, no announcement. Just the steady hum of engines lifting him away from a city that held him captive and protected him at the same time. As Hong Kong's lights fade beneath the clouds, something shifts inside him. This is the moment, not the knock on the consulate door, not the escape from the dorm, not the defection declaration. The moment where turning back becomes physically impossible. For the first time in his life, there is no handler sitting nearby. No one was watching his posture. No one monitors his thoughts. He presses his forehead against the window and exhales a breath he didn't realize he had been holding for years. 3 hours later, the plane lands in Seoul, South Korea. The word feels heavy, almost fictional. He doesn't go through normal arrivals. Officials guide him quietly through a private process. No cameras, no press, no announcements. By the time he steps outside, Ri Jong-Yol no longer exists. On paper, legally, officially, Ri Jong-Ho is born. Freedom arrives slowly, not as a wave, but as confusion. The first thing that overwhelms him isn't joy, it's noise. Advertisements, screens, people speaking without lowering their voices. In North Korea, silence is safety. Here, silence means nothing. He's enrolled in an intensive adjustment program for North Korean defectors. It teaches basics most people never think about: how to use a smartphone, how to shop in a supermarket, how to cross a street without fear. The internet hits him hardest, unfiltered, unlimited, immediate. He types North Korea into a search bar for the first time in his life and stares at the results. This is what they hid. This is what knowledge looks like when it's not controlled. Academically, nothing is lost. If anything, his mind finally stretches. Within a year, he passes the entrance exam for Seoul National University, the most competitive university in the country. Mathematics, the same subject that once trapped him, now opens doors. Professors recognize his talent immediately, not as a tool, not as an asset, as a human being. He walks across campus freely, sits in cafes, argues ideas, laughs without checking who's listening. Simple things, unimaginable things, but freedom has a price, and it's one he pays every day. He never hears from his parents again. No letters, no calls, no confirmation of what happened after he left. He chooses his words carefully in public interviews, downplaying any help he received. He insists he acted alone, not because it's true, but because truth could kill. North Korea practices collective punishment, 3 generations. The less he says, the safer they might be. But that uncertainty never leaves him. Back in Pyongyang, the regime reacts the only way it knows how. They shut everything down. For 2 years after his escape, North Korea sends no students to the International Mathematical Olympiad. No risks, no exposure, no chances for another embarrassment. When they finally return, supervision is tighter than ever. Minders everywhere. Constant surveillance. They learned the wrong lesson. Instead of asking why a gifted teenager would flee, they simply built higher walls. And that's what makes this story matter. Ri Jong-Yol didn't escape because he was weak. He escaped because he was valuable. Because in North Korea, intelligence doesn't earn you freedom. It earns you chains. Somewhere right now, another brilliant child is solving equations in a classroom where curiosity is dangerous. Another teenager is being noticed, reported, selected, running numbers in their head late at night, not about math, but about routes, borders, and doors that might open. Ri Jong-Yol was one variable the system couldn't control, and for a regime built on control, that's the most dangerous thing of all.